What's going on, grapplers? Thank you for joining me. Been gone away, had to do some traveling, but I'm back here in Atlanta, Georgia. NaturlGrappler, let's get it. I really didn't want to talk about this topic. I really want to leave it alone. It's gotten out of hand. In a playful way, not in a serious way, but this whole mess about what Stephen A. Smith said about Donald Cerrone and everyone jumping in. You know, the frustrating part for me, just as a spectator, is how this is being so blown out of proportion. In sports in general, when you see any team get blown out by another team, you have strong comments. They didn't just show up. Oh, they just folded. They quit. And yeah, this is a more personal thing because we're talking about a combat sport. We're talking about martial arts. But for Stephen A. Smith, you know, I just listened to the interview just to kind of see what the whole ordeal was about. And I know he said that Cerrone quit. Well, at least I believe that's what he said. I thought that's what I heard the first time. I couldn't find the replay on the internet. But when he said that Cerrone quit, I mean, that was a strong statement. But come on, as an athlete or a commentator, announcer, newspaper article, whatever, you hear strong comments and suggestions, and that really shouldn't impact anybody besides the person who heard the comments. And even then, when you know how great you are, those things are just that's minute to what really happened. You know, for example, when the Baltimore Ravens lost to the Tennessee Titans, did we expect that to happen? When the Chiefs were taking on the Houston Texans, they went down by 21. We saw a team come back and defy the odds and come back. They could have folded at 21-0, but now then you can look at it from the perspective that the Houston Texans, they folded with the lead. So when you put that in the concept of mixed martial arts and everyone getting all emotional about what Stephen A. Smith said, you know, it's a comment, right? It's a comment, and let's be honest, the fight only went 40 seconds. Cerrone is a 100% straight verified legend, brawler. Can't ever take anything away from him. He's in the Hall of Fame. He's given us great shows, 3-piece combos and, you know, 4-piece combos, and just taking out the who's who of the UFC, tough guy all the way through and through. But we're talking about this fight against Conor McGregor. And let's really talk about this, because I talked about it in my videos. It's like, leading up to this fight, it didn't even have the hype around it. It wasn't a fight that people were just there's nothing to bite at or chew on. Conor McGregor wasn't talking trash about Cerrone. Cerrone's not known to really even want to have any animosity against the people he's fighting. And when you start the animosity, you get a different side of him, a la Alex Hernandez. Like he said in the back, he was all chill and cool to get on the stage, and Hernandez starts kind of taking a different toll, different, you know, the sound of his voice, just they had a little more bass in his voice when he's talking to Cerrone. Cerrone wasn't really feeling that. And he said, watch your mouth, got in there, did work against him. But we're talking about Donald Cerrone, Conor McGregor, Stephen A. Smith's comments, along with the other commentators. So, first thing that Stephen A. Smith said is that he's shocked and disappointed. That doesn't sound like someone who's downing Donald Cerrone at all. He said shocked and disappointed. What that means is, I expected Cerrone to put up a better fight than that. So, raise your hand if you're sitting there watching this fight and you were not shocked and disappointed in what you saw. You paid $74.99 for a great card, action-packed, and we know how great Donald Cerrone is. That's like if you go into a wrestling match and you see your favorite all-star, top-notch wrestler. You know, we could take it to David Taylor versus Bubba Jenkins in the NCAA Finals. David Taylor was a hyped-up guy, well-deserving, great athlete, Hall of Fame at Penn State. And when he got pinned by Bubba Jenkins in the finals, we were shocked and disappointed because we weren't expecting that. A lot of people were. You know, I didn't know who David Taylor was, but I knew he was great. I knew he was going to be great. You know, just learning about him. But that's beside the point. Let's stick to Donald Cerrone versus Conor McGregor. Shout out to David Taylor. Shout out to Bubba Jenkins. Shout out to USA Wrestling in general. But so next thing he says is he bounces off of what Joe Rogan says. Joe Rogan said the fight was Joe Rogan's words is the fight was literally over in the first 20 seconds. Conor McGregor had Cerrone on his back foot, and the fight was done in the first 20 seconds. Joe Rogan also says that he knows for a fact that Conor has been training since we last saw him in the octagon. So that means for the last 3 years, Conor McGregor has been busting his tail, preparing to make a comeback to mixed martial arts and be dominant and a champion again. Okay, fair enough. Fair enough. There's nothing to say about that. Stephen A. Smith goes and says Cerrone is known for not stepping up in the big moments. Now, yes, I don't agree with that. I think that Cerrone has shown us plenty of times when he could have folded. He could have folded against Hernandez. He could have folded against Mike Perry. There are guys that he's beaten that should have took him out to pasture and been gone and did away with him. Yes, Conor McGregor was coming off of a 2-fight losing streak, quote unquote. Considering the Floyd Mayweather, that's another thing Joe Rogan spoke about. Joe Rogan said Conor lost against Khabib, he was embarrassed. Joe Rogan also said that Conor lost against Floyd Mayweather and he was embarrassed. I don't think he was embarrassed by losing to Floyd Mayweather. I don't think that he was embarrassed losing to Khabib. He lost fair and square to Khabib. It was his first pro main event boxing match against a boxer who was 49-0 at the time. So embarrassment, how? I don't see where that goes into. A loss is a loss. You take it on the chin and you move on. If you want to get better, you will. You'll continue to pursue the dream. Stephen A. Smith went on to say, we haven't learned anything about McGregor because Cerrone didn't show up. And again, the fight lasted 40 seconds. In any other sport, if you see a team get blown out and they don't recover and come back, these are the type of words that you hear. You didn't show up. And usually when an athlete is standing at the podium, they will tell you as a team, and that's the difference. We're talking about teams versus individuals. And usually after you get knocked out, you're not going to really be on the microphone talking a lot. I mean, it's an individual sport. That's what makes MMA, that's what makes combat martial arts sports great in general, is that there is no one else to fall back on besides yourself. And in those moments, when you don't perform, just like anywhere else, if it's on the job or in the classroom, you have to look at yourself and say, dang, I messed up. And it's a tough pill to swallow. It's a tough bullet to swallow, but it's the main event. You have a chance to just break the whole MMA world apart. The whole world. If you win the fight, what happens to Conor McGregor's plan for fighting 3 times a year and getting his belt back, getting the BMF, getting the lightweight title back? All that goes to the scrap haul. Then we sit here talking about, what is Conor McGregor going to do? What is Conor McGregor going to do? But instead, we're not talking about what Conor McGregor is going to do next. We're not talking about what Cerrone is going to do next. We're talking about Stephen A. Smith because he has some harsh words. Man. But the thing that really kind of surprises me about the whole situation, like I said, I think Cerrone, he got surprised. It happens. If Conor McGregor fought Cerrone again, would that happen again? Heck no. That would not happen again. I think Cerrone still has the formula to beat Conor McGregor. It's just there. We know Conor McGregor is not that good at wrestling and scrapping on the ground. Yes, he's gotten extremely better. Yes, he has extremely great partners in jiu-jitsu that can tell him and teach him how to wrestle. And I saw his highlights when he was on the countdown and he was wrestling. He looked good. Look like he was doing some things. But we know Donald Cerrone is great at submissions. If the fight goes more than 3 rounds, I still put my money on Cerrone to beat Conor McGregor. That didn't happen. man. So the thing that got to me, the thing that was most interesting is the fact that a lot of other fighters were saying the same thing, that this was BS and we wanted more of a fight and we're disappointed, and there's like no words for anybody. But you know, Stephen A. Smith opens his mouth, he gives his input on it, and it's like, don't talk to Stephen A. Smith, don't talk about MMA, which is so weird. It's like really, really almost like weird to see everyone kind of getting so emotional about it. It's really weird. It's like, geez, that's the man's opinion. You put your opinion on it, but everyone's kind of getting emotional about the fact that he said that he quit and he didn't show up. I mean, it was a 40-second fight. I'm not saying that he quit. I think that he went in there with the intentions to win. He got shocked, and that's called shock and awe. He got rocked in the first 40 seconds. It happened. We didn't want it to happen, but dang it, it did. So, all in all, do I think Stephen A. Smith, did he go too far with his comment? It's hard to say. I wouldn't say that he went too far with his comment, simply because this final fact right here. We're all talking about what Stephen A. Smith said after watching the replays, after watching the highlight 50,000 times. He saw the fight one time live, not getting all the angles. He's reporting on what he saw in that moment. 20 minutes later, they're asking him, give your analysis about the fight. It's easy to sit at home and look at the replay 1,000 times and watch it on Instagram and watch it on Twitter and watch it on Facebook and, you know, watch it go viral. But this man literally was in the venue. He saw it for a moment. So yeah, Joe Rogan's gonna take the stance of, hey, he tried, man, he tried. But when you're talking about just from a announcer, just giving an unbiased, I'm just walking in the door. Picture that. Picture that you just walked into the arena, never seen the fight in your whole life. Oh man, these are the two legends of the game. These are two legends of the game. You got Donald Cerrone versus Conor McGregor. Donald Cerrone's a king. He's a legend. He does all these things. He's a martial artist to the T. He can beat you. He can beat Conor McGregor 50,000 ways. Yeah, Conor McGregor's a wild boy. Conor McGregor's a wild boy. He's gonna knock him out. He's got a strong left hand. He's gonna knock him out. And you're talking to your family or whoever, your friend who's never seen MMA in the first time. The main event starts in the last 40 seconds. How are they going to feel? It's the first time seeing a fight, and this man done got knocked out in 40 seconds. You think they're going to be going home like, that was the best thing I saw? What happens if you watch the Super Bowl on Sunday, and the Super Bowl, the score's 35-0 going into halftime, and the Chiefs are losing? Man, you're going to change the channel. That's all I'm saying. The fight was the fight. It happened how it happened. But to sit there and try to beam somebody up over the head because they gave an opinion that the man quit, it was a 40-second fight. Jesus, man. It's like, come on. Donald Cerrone, he did a great job. He did what he had to do. He had a game plan. He said he wanted to throw hands. He threw hands. Kind of, you know. But again, like I said, I think Cerrone would beat Conor McGregor if he just takes him to the ground and submits him. I know Conor McGregor's been working on that defense, but I know that Cerrone is the type of dude that can submit Conor McGregor. It's just a fact. It's just 100% fact. I don't care how long Conor McGregor's been training. 9 out of 10 times, Cerrone submits McGregor, but he couldn't take him down. And that's the part that got him. You got to be able to get to the position to win the fight. He didn't take him down. Took some shoulder shrugs, and it was over. Just like this video. Thank you for watching. Have a good night.